Welcome to Plant Your Seed. I'm your host, Fred Ferris. On each episode, we share stories of how ordinary people have transformed their lives. Each story is compassionate, each story is authentic, and each story is a transformation. Here are the stories of the people who are changing our world by transitioning to a plant-based diet. Today on Plant Your Seed, we have an in-person interview that I recorded last summer in London with former Plant Your Seed guest and author Ray Starr. We discuss everything from her new book to what's next after her trilogy is finished to life in general. I hope you enjoy this catch-up conversation. Today we're here in London with our good friend and author Ray Starr for our catch-up conversation. The idea behind our catch-up conversation is to find out what you've been up to since we chatted last. So let's do a quick little refresher, kind of catch everybody up to your vegan journey and kind of tell us quickly how you became vegan.
Sure. So, well, it's funny because we were just talking about this prior to this, weren't we? So now I'm going to be so repetitive. But one of those people that started for health reasons, had a year plan, was first 3 months going to cut out meat, then 3 months later was going to cut out eggs, the next 3 months dairy, then last fish. And then I watched the documentary Earthlings and my year plan went out the window and I was vegan the next day. And I've been vegan now for about 5 years. It's changed my life more than I could ever imagine. Given me 2 children whom I love more than anything. And it's just the best thing I've ever done.
Now, last time we chatted, I think Earthlings was out. And now Dominion is out.
It is.
And soon, The Land of Hope and Glory will be coming out. So you'll finish your trilogy.
I will, yes.
So I guess the question is that I know my wife is curious about is when is the next book coming out?
Well, this is the problem. Since I've had these 2 children that I love more than anything in the world, my writing has taken a bit of a back step. I'm so nearly done. I'm just torn on the ending. So obviously the books were, magical fantasy for everyone to enjoy a really good adventure and hopefully get the vegan message that is within the pages. But raising awareness for things is obviously a great way to create positive change, but I needed the books to be more than that. I also need to raise awareness of solutions because we can talk until, our faces are blue about this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. But if we don't show some ways that are more positive, then what's the point of talking about that all the time? So I had to decide on the kind of positive solutions that I wanted to include in the book that are done in a way that are just really important to me, aren't preachy. I don't want to be that preachy person. I found the solution. Well, haven't found the solution. I've decided which solution I'm going to focus on that is implemented within the book, which is based primarily around the Plant-Based Treaty. If you haven't heard of them, please do check them out. They're an amazing organisation trying to create positive change for everyone. So there's a treaty within the book that the characters are trying to get signed and things, and now I just have to decide who I'm killing off, which is the hardest bit and why I can't finish it. I've killed off a lot of different characters, changed my mind and thought, no, I can't kill you, and then had to write it again. So that's where we're at the moment. Who dies, basically.
So how hard is it to finish a book? It's in a way, it's kind of like your baby, right? So how hard is it to actually finish it?
It's the hardest part. So a lot of times when you have a dream or a passion or something that you want to do, getting started can be the hardest bit. But then once you've started and the ball is rolling and then you're going, you get so caught up in it and it's just such an amazing feeling. You kind of don't want it to end. I know I have to finish this book. It's a trilogy. People are waiting for book 3. I've got to finish it. But I just don't want to let go of certain characters, and a big part of me doesn't want this story to end. Like, to me, part of it genuinely is real. I know it's not. Anyone that's read the book is going to be thinking, well, it can't be real. It's absolutely insane. I'm very aware of that. But I don't want it to end, and I will be sad when this story is over. But I have other stories that I plan to write as well, and I guess I'll have another journey to follow up on soon.
So it's not going to be a Douglas Adams 4-book trilogy.
No, I'm not going to do that. I can't. I'm tempted. I get why authors do that, but no, definitely not doing that. Book 3 is done. it is over, and I'll be very sad to say goodbye to it.
Okay, so your book is over. It's finished. When you finish it, where do you go, or what do you do next?
Writing this trilogy has opened up so many doors to me that I just wasn't even part of the plan. So along with writing fiction, I do some freelance journalism for vegan outlets as well, which I do enjoy, but I'm not going to take that as a full-on career path. I enjoy fiction. Fiction's my thing, but I get to teach at schools, which I love. I really, really love. I teach writing for nature workshops, which are secretly vegan writing workshops, but I can't tell people that's what it is or no one to book me. But I love going into schools and everyone's passionate because everyone's passionate about nature, and then within those classes having the conversations of, oh, do you love animals? Amazing, I do too. Does anyone here eat animals? And then everyone kind of goes quiet, and it's not a judgmental thing, but it's like, okay, so what animals do you eat? What animals do you enjoy eating? What animals do you not eat? What animals do you enjoy spending time with? And just raising those questions, you can see the cogs turning, and it's not a judgmental thing. It's, oh, you shouldn't do that. It's just having those questions, getting those thought processes going, where when they leave the classroom and then they go to order whatever it is they're having for lunch, they might think, oh, I don't want to order that now, you know. So it's and the stories they come up with are amazing. We've written stories from everything from tarantulas to dolphins to bees to, oh God, all sorts. It's amazing what the students come up with. So I love that. I'd like to do more of that, and to write more books. To write a lot more books. I've got a duology in my head, which I'm going to be going down next, which is going to be based on the kind of abolition of nature-based peoples throughout history, and how that's kind of been the downfall of humanity, and how if we reconnect with nature, we can not only save this version of nature that we love, but ourselves and hopefully the world that we love as well. So yeah, lots to work on.
So what is it about writing that makes you so passionate?
It's fun. It is. I get to geek out. It's great. I've always loved writing. Like, if I get time to myself when the kids are in bed, it's always, do I read or do I write? And I'm torn. I never know which one I want to do. I love doing both so much. And it's really great when you create a world or you create a story, and it doesn't matter how out there it is. Sometimes the best stories are the ones that are the most like vivid and crazy. But when someone reads your story and enjoys it, like, it's just the best feeling, because I don't know, it just is. It's just such a rewarding thing, and I hope I will do it forever.
Now, take us through your creative process. Like, how do you start with an idea, and how do you continue it?
Okay. This is where people never believe me, but there is none. I have no creative process. So it's quite hypocritical of me, because I go into schools and I teach these classes. If you know, what I teach in my classes is, first of all, to think of your purpose. What would the purpose of your story be? And then to go through some characters. So you've got your protagonist, and then your secondary characters, and then the villain if there is one, and the story progress and all the rest of it. And I teach people how to do this, and the system works, but it does not work for me. If I plan what I'm going to write, when I sit down to write, something completely different comes out on the page. So I have no process. I don't know what is going to happen until I sit down and start writing, and then I'm just in the zone, and what happens. It's I think that's why it's fun, because it's not planned, it's not worked. It's just, oh, what am I going to write about today?
Seems like you really enjoy writing.
I do. Yeah, I love it. I'm a total geek. I love it. When I was at school, I loved it. It was my thing. I wish I'd done it from an earlier age. Wish I didn't have the career path that I'd had and been money orientated. I'm glad that I did, because I've been able to buy a house, and I've got a comfortable lifestyle and things. Something that I've struggled with my journey is that I don't make anywhere near as much money as I used to. It is harder to do. Like before, if I wanted 3 holidays a year, I could have 3 holidays a year. That's no problem. I'm very aware now that we'll be lucky if we get a holiday a year. You know, it is a lifestyle adjustment. But I love this job. I really enjoy it. And part of my journey for me is I kind of have it in my head that money is the root of all evil, and I think that's why I haven't been getting the financial gains from this yet, because I've got to work out in my head that it's okay to make money out of this. It doesn't make it any less. It doesn't mean I'm then doing this for the money. That's never why I set out to do this. I did this so I wanted to help animals. But for some reason, in my mindset, when I start making money out of it, I almost tell myself off, because it's like, no, you shouldn't, because you're doing this for the animals. I know it sounds absolutely insane. So I have to be comfortable with the idea that money can be used for good, and that is something that I've really struggled with when you see how often money isn't used for good. But I know if I had money again, I would use it for good. I do want to open an animal sanctuary. That is what I want to do. So that's what I'm working on next, trying to take it from a passion, which it is, to an actual proper career path. So, I mean, it is what I do full time. It is my career, but it needs to be more of a sustainable, that word, I hate that word, sustainable. It's such an in word, but yeah, it needs to be a more sustainable career. So yes, that's what we're working on at the moment.
Okay, so this is Ray Starr. Her book is Earthlings and Dominion, and soon to be Land of Hope and Glory, hopefully sooner rather than later. So congratulations on your books and continued success.
Thank you very much, and it's been lovely chatting to you, as always.
Hope you are inspired by this story, and remember, it's never too late to plant your seed. Links to everything we talked about on the podcast can be found on Instagram at plant.yourseed in the show notes tab in the bio. If you enjoyed the show, remember to leave us a review, and until next time, thank you for listening.